When we listen to the deeper messages behind our discomforts, we open the door to a life of greater peace, alignment, and fulfillment. Itching is something most people experience daily, a sensation that, while usually fleeting, demands immediate attention. In the physical sense, itching is commonly associated with irritation or discomfort, prompting us to scratch and alleviate the sensation. But what if this common bodily sensation holds a deeper, more profound spiritual meaning? What if the simple act of itching could be a message from our soul, signaling that something within us needs attention or that a transformation is about to take place? In spiritual terms, itching can be seen as a call for awareness. Just as our bodies react to external irritants with an itch, our spirits react to internal imbalances or unresolved issues with a form of discomfort. This discomfort may not always manifest in the form of physical sensations, but it often presents itself through feelings of restlessness, unease, or dissatisfaction with certain aspects of our lives. It's as if our soul is trying to tell us that something isn't quite right, that a change is necessary, and that we need to take action. When we experience an itch, the immediate impulse is to scratch it. We instinctively seek relief from the discomfort, but often this quick reaction doesn't address the root cause of the sensation. Similarly, when we face challenges or inner turmoil in our spiritual lives, it's tempting to look for quick fixes or distractions. We might seek temporary relief through avoidance, denial, or numbing behaviors, but these actions rarely lead to lasting change. The discomfort will persist, just as the itch does, until we take the time to understand what's causing it and make the necessary adjustments. This is where the deeper spiritual meaning of itching comes into play. Instead of simply reacting to the sensation, we are called to pause and reflect on what it might be telling us. Itching is not always a random occurrence. It often arises when something within us needs to be examined. There may be unresolved emotions, unhealed wounds, or old beliefs that are no longer serving us, creating an internal sense of irritation or unease. Just as the body alerts us to physical discomfort, our spirit signals when something needs attention. In many ways, the sensation of itching symbolizes spiritual growth. Just as the body sheds skin or heals from injury, our souls go through processes of transformation. Itching can be seen as a sign that we are undergoing a spiritual renewal or that we are on the brink of change. It is a sign that we are shedding old patterns, letting go of outdated beliefs, or releasing past hurts. The discomfort that accompanies itching is often the precursor to a breakthrough, a sign that we are clearing the path for something new and better to emerge in our lives. However, transformation requires effort. Just as scratching an itch might bring temporary relief, it's not a long-term solution. In order to experience lasting peace and growth, we must be willing to dig deeper and explore the root causes of our discomfort. Itching is a reminder that we can't simply scratch the surface of our issues and expect them to disappear. True healing and spiritual progress require us to confront our discomforts head-on, to investigate what's causing the restlessness within us, and to take the necessary steps to bring our lives into alignment with our higher purpose. The process of spiritual renewal often requires us to let go of old attachments or habits that no longer serve us. This process can be uncomfortable, just like an itch that demands our attention. However, it's in these moments of discomfort that we are given the opportunity to release what no longer aligns with our authentic self. Holding on to negative beliefs, unhealthy relationships, or past experiences can create spiritual itches, subtle but persistent feelings that prevent us from moving forward. By recognizing these patterns and allowing ourselves to release them, we can experience the relief and renewal that comes with making space for new growth. Itching also teaches us the importance of being present with our discomfort. Instead of simply reacting and seeking quick relief, we are invited to lean into the discomfort, to understand it and what it is trying to teach us. This requires mindfulness and introspection, a willingness to sit with the discomfort and explore its deeper meaning. What is this itch telling me? What part of my life needs attention, healing, or transformation? These questions allow us to uncover the deeper messages behind our discomfort and lead us towards spiritual growth and alignment. The discomfort of itching in both the physical and spiritual sense is a reminder that we are constantly in a process of becoming. We are evolving, growing, and moving through different stages of life. Just as an itch signals a need for attention, spiritual discomfort signals that we are being called to evolve and transform. If we ignore or resist the discomfort, we may miss out on the opportunity for growth. But if we embrace it, listen to it, and take the necessary steps to address the root causes, we allow ourselves to step into a new phase of our journey, one that is more aligned with our true purpose and higher calling. In conclusion, itching is more than just a physical sensation. It is a spiritual signal that calls us to pay attention to areas of our lives that need healing, change, or renewal. Much like how our body alerts us to external irritants, our soul sends us signals through discomfort, guiding us toward transformation. Itching teaches us the importance of not merely seeking quick relief, but of delving deeper to understand what lies beneath the surface. It encourages us to release what no longer serves us, to shed old patterns, and to embrace the discomfort that precedes growth. When we listen to the deeper meaning behind our restlessness, we unlock the potential for profound spiritual evolution, paving the way for a life that is aligned with our true purpose. The next time we experience an itch, may we remember that it is not just a call to scratch the surface, but a reminder to look within, reflect, and allow ourselves to evolve. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a mystery in life that many of us experience every day, yet most people overlook its deeper meaning. It's something so simple, yet it has profound spiritual implications. I'm talking about itching. Yes, the act of feeling a sensation on our skin that prompts us to scratch. But today, I want to reveal to you a spiritual truth hidden beneath this seemingly insignificant act. You see, when you feel an itch, it's not just your body signaling discomfort. It's a message from the deeper part of you, a reminder that something is stirring within your spirit. It's a divine nudge, an invitation to pay attention, to reflect, and to understand that change is coming. Just as an itch can't be ignored, there are times in life when you cannot ignore the stirring within your soul, the call to grow, to evolve, and to step into the purpose you were born to fulfill. In the spiritual realm, itching symbolizes transition. It signifies that there is something you need to release, something that is out of alignment with the destiny that awaits you. It's not just a physical sensation. It's your spirit saying, there's a new season coming. There's a new path to walk. You're about to break through to something greater than you've ever imagined. Every time you scratch that itch, understand that it's an opportunity for renewal, for cleansing, and for letting go of the old to make space for the new. Think about it. Itching doesn't happen when everything is still. It happens when there is movement, when there is friction, when something is about to shift. And in life, when you feel that discomfort, when things seem to be getting challenging, don't simply scratch at the surface. Look deeper. Ask yourself, what is this itch telling me about my soul? What is God trying to reveal to me through this uncomfortable moment? In the Bible, we are taught that our bodies are temples, but the true temple is our spirit. So when you feel an itch, don't just see it as a bodily inconvenience. It's a reminder that your spirit is calling you to attention, to prepare you for something more significant than what your eyes can see. Just as our bodies respond to the environment around us, our spirit responds to the environment of our lives. And sometimes the discomfort is simply a wake-up call for us to awaken to the greatness that is within us. Your spiritual journey, just like an itch, will often lead you into uncomfortable places. You will face trials, opposition, and moments of uncertainty. But it's in those moments of discomfort that the greatest growth occurs. It's in those moments of scratching the surface that you are actually digging deeper into your purpose, into your destiny, and into your divine calling. So the next time you experience that itch, don't dismiss it. Don't simply react to it as if it's an inconvenience. Take a moment to reflect, to ask yourself what your spirit is trying to tell you. Understand that it's not just your body that needs attention, but your soul. The itch is a signal that something great is about to happen. Don't ignore it. Don't resist it. Embrace it. And get ready for the breakthrough that's coming your way. Because just as the itch leads to a satisfying release, so too will your obedience to your inner call lead to the fulfillment of your purpose. There's a divine purpose behind every sensation, every stirring, and every movement. The itch is just the beginning. What you do with it, how you respond to it, will determine the greatness you walk into. So scratch it. But understand that every scratch is a step closer to the revelation of the fullness of who you are meant to be. Your destiny is calling. Itching, a simple, seemingly insignificant experience in our daily lives, carries a deeper spiritual meaning that many often overlook. When we feel the sensation of an itch, we instinctively respond. But rarely do we stop to ask ourselves what it might truly symbolize beyond the physical discomfort. The reality is, every sensation that arises in our bodies is not just a random occurrence, but often a profound reminder from our spirits, urging us to reflect and pay attention to something greater. The secret spiritual meaning behind itching is tied to a powerful message of transition, awakening, and growth. In the same way that an itch signals something within the body that requires attention, the sensation of itching can be interpreted as a divine nudge indicating a spiritual transition. When we experience discomfort, it's often a sign that change is on the horizon. The moment you feel an itch is the moment when something is being stirred within you, a deep calling that cannot be ignored. It may not always be easy to identify in the midst of our busy lives, but if we pause to consider it, we'll realize that the sensation is an invitation for us to wake up to the greater purpose of our lives. Itching is a physical manifestation of spiritual restlessness. The itch is not only a call for physical relief, but also a prompt from within to examine the current state of our soul. It's a reminder that something is out of alignment. There is an area of your life that needs to be addressed, adjusted, or released in order for you to step into the next phase of your destiny. Just as the itch is persistent, pushing us to scratch and address the discomfort, so too is the call within our spirit, pushing us toward a necessary change that will lead us to greater fulfillment. When we consider the deeper meaning of itching, we can understand it as a metaphor for personal and spiritual transformation. The feeling of an itch, when you think about it, doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It's a reaction to something within your body that's been triggered, an underlying cause that has created the sensation. In the same way, our spiritual experiences, the ones that stir us and challenge us, are not random occurrences. They are reactions to an inner calling, a deeper transformation that, in life, every moment of discomfort offers an opportunity for growth and reflection, especially when we look at something as ordinary as the sensation of itching. This seemingly trivial feeling that compels us to scratch may appear as just a physical response to a minor irritation. But beneath its surface, there lies a deeper spiritual message that often goes unnoticed. The spiritual meaning of itching transcends the simple need for relief. It speaks to a powerful spiritual truth. The body, mind, and spirit are interconnected, and every sensation serves as an invitation to pay attention to the call of our soul. At a deeper level, itching symbolizes the stirring of change within us. It is not by chance that we experience this discomfort at certain times in our lives, particularly when we are about to embark on a new journey or phase of our personal development. The act of itching is an external manifestation of something happening internally, signaling that a shift is on the horizon. Change often comes with discomfort, but it is within that discomfort that the potential for growth exists. When an itch arises, we instinctively reach for relief. We scratch the surface to ease the irritation, often unaware of the profound lesson the experience holds. Spiritually speaking, itching represents the restlessness that arises when something within us is out of alignment. It's an indication that there is something within our life that needs to change or be released. Whether it's a habit, a relationship, or a mindset, there's an invitation to examine our inner world and identify areas that need attention. Just as we respond to the physical sensation of itching, we must also respond to the spiritual discomfort that calls us to look deeper into our own lives. Itching also signifies the need for release and renewal. Much like how scratching an itch brings temporary relief, engaging with our spiritual restlessness helps us address the deeper needs of our soul. However, relief does not always come immediately. In many cases, the discomfort we experience, both physically and spiritually, is persistent, urging us to pay attention to what we are holding on to that no longer serves us. The itch is a reminder to let go, to surrender old patterns, and to clear the space for something new. By releasing what no longer aligns with our higher purpose, we create room for renewal, for growth, and for the emergence of the next phase of our destiny. Spiritual growth often occurs when we allow ourselves to lean into discomfort. It's easy to avoid the irritation, to scratch it away, or to try to ignore it. But when we do this, we miss the deeper lesson. It's in the moments of discomfort that we are often being invited to dig deeper into our own hearts, to search for the underlying causes of our feelings, and to reflect on the things in our lives that need transformation. The discomfort that comes with itching is a call to action, a nudge to awaken to the reality that we are in a moment of change and we are being prepared for something greater. As we reflect on the meaning of itching in a spiritual context, we also begin to understand that it is a sign of divine timing. Life operates in cycles. And just as the seasons change, so too do our spiritual seasons. The itch is a prompt that something is about to shift, just as the seasons transition from one to the next. Each change, though it may bring discomfort, is part of the natural order of life. The discomfort of itching is a part of the divine timing of your life's journey. Just as the body reacts to its environment with an itch when it encounters something foreign or uncomfortable, your soul is reacting to the changes around you, urging you to move forward, to embrace the transformation, and to prepare for what's to come. The moment you feel an itch, remember that it is more than just an inconvenient feeling. It is an invitation to take a deeper look at your life. What are you resisting? What is your soul trying to tell you? The itch symbolizes the divine calling to align yourself with your true purpose, to step away from the distractions, and to let go of the things that are no longer in harmony with who you are meant to become. It reminds you to tune into the quiet whispers of your spirit, which often go unnoticed amidst the noise of the world. In many ways, Itching also serves as a metaphor for the spiritual discomfort we experience when we are not living in alignment with our higher selves. It's the internal restlessness that arises when we feel disconnected from our true purpose, or when we allow fear, doubt, or negative influences to steer us off course. Just as an itch requires our attention, our soul requires our attention as well. We must be willing to address what lies beneath the surface, to examine the parts of ourselves that need healing, and to confront the areas of our lives that need to be cleared out so that we can move forward into the fullness of our destiny. Spiritual growth doesn't come without discomfort. It is in those moments of scratching the surface, of confronting the itch, that we discover the true power of release and renewal. It's not just the physical scratching that brings relief. It's the spiritual scratching, the deep internal exploration that leads to healing, alignment, and transformation. When we embrace the discomfort, instead of running from it, we open ourselves to the divine revelation of who we are meant to be. The itch is simply the beginning, the spark that ignites the fire of change within us. It is a call to awaken to the deeper truths of life, to shed the old skin that no longer fits, and to step boldly into the new chapter that awaits. When we talk about itching, we often associate it with a mere physical inconvenience, something that requires a quick scratch to alleviate the discomfort. However, there is a deeper, more profound significance behind this simple act, especially when we begin to understand it from a spiritual perspective. Itching is not just an isolated bodily sensation, but a reminder that something within us requires attention, a sign that our spirit is trying to tell us something important. While we typically view itching as a reaction to physical irritants, we must begin to ask ourselves, could this discomfort be pointing to a spiritual message that we have been overlooking? At its core, the act of itching is a subtle yet powerful metaphor for spiritual restlessness. When we feel an itch, it often catches us off guard, just as spiritual restlessness can appear in our lives unexpectedly. It's a signal from our inner self that something is out of alignment, that a change is either imminent or necessary. Itching, whether on our skin or in our spirit, is an invitation for us to pause and reflect. It asks us to consider what in our life needs to be addressed. It's a gentle nudge from within, urging us to pay attention to the areas of our life where we may have grown complacent or stagnant. The deeper spiritual meaning of itching lies in the idea of transition. Just as an itch signals a physical change or discomfort in the body, it also symbolizes the internal shifts taking place within us. It's a reminder that we are always evolving, growing, and moving through different seasons of life. Often, when we feel an itch, it happens at a time when we are on the verge of a transition, either personally, professionally, or spiritually. The discomfort of itching is not something to be dismissed. Rather, it is an indicator that we are at a threshold, ready to move from one phase of our life to the next. It's as though the universe is signaling to us, saying, it's time to step forward. It's time to evolve. What's significant about this is the awareness that comes from understanding that itching is a spiritual signal of change. When we feel discomfort, our first instinct is to scratch or alleviate it, seeking relief. However, just like in life, when we face discomfort, whether emotional, physical, or spiritual, it's easy to seek quick relief or escape. But relief from itching, as with many other forms of discomfort, may only be temporary unless we address the root cause. In the same way, when we face difficult situations, the solution isn't always to escape or numb the discomfort. Instead, we need to look inward, reflect, and find the deeper meaning behind the discomfort. What is the itch telling us? What area of our life needs to be realigned or healed? If we take the time to reflect and address the cause, the relief we experience will be far more lasting and meaningful. In the spiritual realm, the act of scratching an itch can be seen as an act of releasing. Scratching temporarily alleviates the sensation, much like how releasing negative energy, old habits, or unhelpful mindsets brings relief to our soul. There are times when we hold on to emotional baggage, unhealthy patterns, or limiting beliefs. And like an itch, these things begin to manifest as discomfort in our lives. The spiritual itch encourages us to address these areas, to let go of the things that no longer serve us, and to make room for healing and renewal. Just as we are constantly renewing our skin, we must also renew our spirit, clearing away the old and making space for new growth. Moreover, itching often appears when something foreign or uncomfortable enters it's an automatic reaction to the presence of something that doesn't belong. Spiritually, this can symbolize moments in our lives when we encounter situations or influences that are not aligned with our true purpose. It may be a relationship, an environment, or a mindset that does not resonate with the calling on our lives. When we begin to feel uncomfortable in certain areas, it is often because these external factors are out of alignment with who we truly are meant to be. The itch becomes a signal that something is out of place. Just as the body reacts to foreign invaders, our spirit reacts to misalignments, urging us to address them. What we often fail to realize is that itching, in both its physical and spiritual forms, is an opportunity for us to grow. Discomfort is often the precursor to change, and change, while often uncomfortable, is necessary for personal and spiritual development. It's easy to fall into the trap of avoiding discomfort, of wishing for things to remain constant. But growth doesn't happen in stillness. Just as the body's itching indicates a need for attention, growth requires that we confront the discomfort and use it as a stepping stone to move forward. When we scratch beneath the surface, when we dig deeper, we uncover the treasures that lie within us. The discomfort of itching is also tied to the spiritual principle of letting go. It's a reminder that we cannot move forward until we release the things that no longer serve our highest good. The itch is an urging from the soul to free ourselves from the weights that hold us down. Just as scratching an itch brings a temporary sense of relief, releasing old patterns and limiting beliefs brings lasting freedom. The more we resist the itch, the longer it lingers. But when we allow ourselves to address the discomfort and let go of what needs to be released, we move closer to the next chapter of our lives. Itching, when viewed from a spiritual perspective, is not just an inconvenience. It is a powerful message, a reminder from our spirit that change is coming, that alignment is necessary, and that renewal is possible. It is not something to be avoided, but rather something to be embraced. It's an opportunity to reflect, to realign, and to grow. Itching is not just about physical relief. It's a spiritual awakening, an invitation to embrace the transformation that awaits. So the next time you feel an itch, take a moment to reflect. What is your soul trying to tell you? What is calling for your attention? It's time to listen and to respond, because the discomfort is a sign that something greater is unfolding. Itching is one of those common experiences that most people simply brush off as a fleeting nuisance, a feeling that requires a quick scratch for relief. Yet, if we take a moment to pause and reflect, we may begin to see that there's more to it than just a physical sensation. In fact, itching, especially when viewed from a spiritual perspective, carries with it a powerful message. A reminder that our body, mind, and soul are interconnected, and that every sensation, no matter how small, has a deeper meaning. At its most basic level, itching signals a need for attention. It's a call to focus on something that's out of place, whether it's an external irritant or something beneath the surface. Similarly, when we feel discomfort or restlessness in our spiritual lives, it's often an indication that something within us is asking to be addressed. It could be an old pattern that we need to release, an emotion that needs healing, or a change that must be made to move forward. Just as the body signals its need for attention through itching, our spirit too sends us signals that something is out of alignment or that we are being called to shift in some way. The spiritual meaning of itching goes deeper when we consider the fact that discomfort often precedes change. It's in the moments of discomfort, when we're restless, unsettled, or unsure, that we are being nudged toward transformation. Change often brings discomfort, and in this sense, itching can be viewed as a spiritual preparation for something new. The discomfort of itching can represent a breakthrough that's on the horizon, a sign that you're